Topics. In terms of the UFOs and just other intelligences, other entities, I have such a strong sense that there are multiple races of beings here, not only physically, and whether they're underground or in ships or whatever. Jacques Vallée says probably 80% of the contact is telepathic, and that makes a lot of sense to me. Raise your hand if you've had some sort of communication within yourself that feels like it was smarter than your usual rational mind. Yeah, look at this. This is what I get everywhere. And a lot of my guidance for this research, particularly, really specifically into the layers of the atom, which I spent 2.5 years modeling with physicists and geometers and computer scientists. I would take it as far as I could go with my rational mind, and then just stop, and I would go for a walk in the woods, or I would meditate, or I would lay down and take a nap, but I would ask for guidance first. And I would wake up. I always carry a little recorder in my pocket, and I would wake up, and I would have 4 messages on the recorder that I had woken up, dictated, in that deep state, and then went back to sleep. And I did this for 15 years. I made this agreement to take notes from whatever source seemed worthy of respect, and that I would get that message out. So, and we put in those little clips, and there are a lot more that refer to first-hand, high-level reports from government and military witnesses about them turning off missile silos and disarming these nuclear warheads that were on that missile and so forth. My sense, and what I see in terms of the consistency of the behavior, is that we are being quarantined until we shape up, until we are responsible enough to get off this planet and not take weapons with us, nuclear weapons with us, and all that kind of stuff. But they can't do it for us. I've heard from many sources that there is kind of a Star Trek type prime directive. It's almost like, for the parents in the audience, when your 2-year-old is climbing on a jungle gym, you stand close by to catch them if they fall and kind of coach them or whatever, but you've got to let them climb the jungle gym eventually, or they don't have the skill to climb the jungle gym, and then they're a danger to themselves and everyone else. So I think I think that one of the reasons why I put that section in UFOs, when I first came in today, one person said to me, I really loved your film, but I just wish you hadn't put the UFO thing in because it undermines the credibility. And literally, the next person who came up to me and said, I just want to thank you for putting in the UFO section. It meant so much to me. I think we're just waking up to this vast, multi-dimensional cosmos that we live in, and the evidence is just getting stronger and stronger. So I'm really encouraged about that. That doesn't mean necessarily that they all have our best intentions in mind. I had a conversation with John Mack before he died. Those of you who don't know, he was a Harvard psychiatrist who really did the first comprehensive work with contactees, abductees, and he was not a believer when he started, but he was at the end. And I asked him, as I asked Stephen Greer and a lot of others, are there such a thing as mean ETs, given that they haven't taken us over or something in all this time? And his answer was really useful for me. He said, think how far advanced we are evolutionarily beyond the ant or the rat, and then turn around and think what we do to rats in labs, supposedly with high intentions. And in fact, as a side note, that's something that I and other members of my family have been involved with, getting Procter & Gamble to stop animal testing, and we've gotten rid of 95% of it. So to move to your second question about entheogens, psychotropic, whatever you want to call them, I have both experienced and seen in interviewing tons of people all over the world what a key role they've played in millions and millions of lives. And that's just in the modern world. It's been happening in every single culture that has lasted, throughout history, as far as I can tell. And I researched a lot of that for a while. What I would say in a nutshell about it is that used well, prepared for and then cared for well in the right setting and so forth, that type of assistance can provide a glimpse of who we truly are as just exquisite metaphysical beings, inhabiting a vibrational world of great beauty and great danger, and that it can give us a glimpse of states of consciousness, realization of interconnectedness, that then it's our task to earn on our own. And I think that there are great risks involved. I've had a couple of friends who way overdid their experimentation and have really paid a price in terms of their physical health and their mental health. And my wife and I recommended, we actually told our kids that if they didn't do drugs till they were 18, we would give them a trip anywhere in the world that they wanted to, just so that they would have a sense of who they were before being altered dramatically. And that really paid off for most of them. So I was just interviewed for a film recently, specifically on this topic, that'll probably be coming out in about 6 months. I'm blanking on the exact, I think it's called The Truth of Reality. Deepak Chopra and John Hagel and a few others are all commenting on this very area. It's becoming a more and more open issue to be able to talk about, as so many of these are as well. Thanks for the question.